So we made a FOIA request for the 911 calls from my mom's address going back 10 years. And what we got, I'm going to show you here on the computer screen, just one single listing. And when I look at it, they have listed the wrong address. I have the request that I made that has the correct address. They sent the report from the wrong address. That's there. That address isn't my mom's address. Now, the purpose of the Freedom of Information Act is that when the police are doing something dirty, when they're committing crime, they're planting evidence, or in this case, encouraging 911 calls from different parties with overlapping agendas for the purpose of provoking an arrest from me. And they've been doing this daily going back years, 4 years at this property, and then 10 years, not 10, 2017, when my dad passed, my mom started calling 911 about complaining about the neighbors because that's a mental condition. She complains to abuse. She has that sadistic intention. And then I have the recording and shows my mom has that condition, and then all the other people who are exploiting that condition in order to provoke me, to get me arrested, to get my house. And then Tanya being manipulated by her cult brother, and I have the recordings here that show how he's doing that, and I'm always talking about it. He manipulated her to get me arrested. She's playing gang music, the same one the squatter Justin Taylor was playing and wouldn't stop playing while I had, like, middle of the night, while I had restraining order against her, and the cops were encouraging her, supporting her, weren't enforcing the restraining order against her. She actually walked out with Tanya's dog, having it get run over intentionally when the cops were intentionally not enforcing the restraining order against her. So the cops have been intentionally supporting the squatter Justine Taylor when she was here a year and a half, calling daily, and they were here scolding me. My mom's daily calls going back all the way to 2017. And then Anita, if you're wondering why doesn't Zeke get conservatorship over her mom, Anita has power of attorney. My deceased sister's daughter, after my sister died, her surviving widow Sam in Tucson, and their daughter and Albert and my cousin in Carmel wanted to get the inheritance. This is our family issue, and so Anita manipulated Netta to do a false wellness check, lied and told Devonshire police Peter isn't there, so they came there to provoke me, and I have that whole playlist about that. And Anita manipulated Tanya, who's also being manipulated by her brother, who's in that cult in Bryan, Texas. And I have the recording how he's manipulating her to play that gang music and not stop constantly. And I have that on video. She keeps playing gang music that she never listens to. She only listens to gospel church music. And then right up after that, she gets a call from the police. And how did the police know we were fighting? So that's another trigger, because those two things was exactly what Justine Taylor was doing. So they're constantly triggering with 911 calls and these same behaviors, poking at the sword to get me arrested, and it didn't work that one time. I got arrested. And I was in jail for 3 hellish days. But they threw the case out because they saw it's ridiculous. She's there, I have the audio of it, talking to her therapist, talking to Anita, talking to all the people, doing defamation and lying. Lying to police to get someone arrested is a crime. Calling 911 daily, making false reports is a crime. Mom's been doing it. The squatter Justine Taylor was doing it. Anita got Netta to do it. Anita and Richard Holloway in Texas got Tanya to do it. It's been going on all the way to 2017 at my mom's house, by mom, and it's been going on at this house by the squatter, and then Tanya did it, and then Netta did it. They were manipulated by Anita, and Tanya was manipulated by Richard Holloway. And then so the result that I get that would prove that, they keep stonewalling every time I ask them. Every time they come, they say, we don't want to know. We don't care. We're only here for a report. That's false. All the videos show that. And when I ask them, look at the 911 calls, they say, well, you get it yourself. We ain't getting it for you. When I get it, they send the wrong address. We got a case here. Okay? And they're doing this slow and low intentionally. The brutality they say, they shoot a black kid saying we thought the Skittles he was holding in his hand was a gun. They beat black people. People like me, Middle Eastern people, they do the years and years of provoking to get the arrest, to get the house. That's a fact. I've been documented for 4 years. And this needs to be looked at. A lot of people don't mind them doing this because they hate people. A lot of Americans hate people who look like me because, hostage crisis with Jimmy Carter, 9/11, the Iraq-Afghanistan wars, that the police are a lot of them are veterans of, so they've had the trauma of that. And why was that? Why was 9/11 caused? Who was behind 9/11, right? You've heard the stories. It was an inside job intentionally to start the wars. It's an excuse to start the wars, right? And those wars and that 9/11, Mike Velarde, who was a first responder at 9/11, he had to recover bodies from the Staten Island dumps, is a friend of the Facebook friend of the squatter Justine Taylor. He's there in Florida, Palm Beach, Florida, where Justine Taylor is from, and was running for Congress, and he's aspiring to be president, and he has an agenda. He talks about anti-Arab, anti-Muslim, anti-immigration. He hates people that look like me. So he got Justine Taylor. He's a police officer. He used to be a law enforcement. So he has pulled with the West Valley Police Station and the Devonshire. He told them to carry out this task, to keep doing 911 calls to over years, to provoke me, to scold me. How many people have they done this to? Please look into it. Look at all the 911 calls of Justine Taylor has ever made. Look at all the locations that have 911 calls daily going back years. They intentionally have these methods, policies to prevent the solution of problems at those special locations. A lot of them, if you look and see, some gang member trying to get that house to use as a gang location to sell drugs to your kids. And people don't mind because that person they're doing it to is Middle Eastern. Get this on the news, please. Look it up. Look up. I have all the videos here. Putting it in the description. Look at what I have. Get it on the news. In Jesus' name, amen.